Hello and welcome to the Creative Kobold. My name is Gaira, and today we are taking a look at the TT Combat Kickstarter Desert of the Dead. TT Combat is also known as Troll Trader. So, sadly I don't have more of this set because it turned out to be a very good Kickstarter as far as quality of the minis and such. So let's just get into this. I have several bags here as well as some loose minis, and we will go through each and every one of them. I'm going to start with this bag. These are the Elven blades, I believe they are called. Now, these are all resin miniatures, cast resin miniatures, not 3D printed. And let's see here. So you can see they come on these small parts, and there are these beams that sort of lets the resin flow through the mold. So these all have some work that you need to do to get them nice and pretty and ready to paint. However, eventually they will turn out something like this. Now this is one of the Elven swords, and one thing that was a bit sad about the Kickstarter was that it wasn't immediately obvious that you would get multiple different sculpts for each set. So you had the Elven sword set, which comes with 20 miniatures. And that was, I think it was £20 for 20 miniatures. I think that's about $25 American. It was a bit sad that you didn't know that there would be different sculpts, because if so, I would probably have gone or put more money into this set. Or into this Kickstarter early on. That said, I did manage to get this set of the Elven swords, which was just one of many different options. Though I did so in the pledge manager when it had become clear that there would be multiple different sculpts. These are all female miniatures, which is something I really like about these, because like the norm is focusing on male miniatures basically. So it's nice to see some variation there. And also I really like the Egyptian style, or Egyptian inspired style they have. I'm going to show some of the concept art and such from the Kickstarter itself. Just to give you an idea of how these might look when painted up. Here you can see one with a battle standard, which is something I definitely didn't think would come as part of this set, especially since there was a battle standard mini that you could get outside of this set. So, and here's one with a lyre, I think, small harp. And that's very cool. I have done some work on a few of these. These two are the same. I've already shown you some of the same sculpts, but we'll just go through everyone. There's not that many. Also, you can see one problem that these minis have. There's a lot of this flash. It's basically flash central. I've removed it on most of these miniatures, but there's so much flash. Of course, it's not a big deal actually, because it's very easy to remove. And despite all the flash, I've had very little trouble with mold lines. So that's interesting. There's very little mold lines despite a lot of flash. There's another one of these. Now, a slightly larger problem with these is, and I think it's sort of indicative of a lot of resin miniatures in general, are bubbles. Bubbles are a much larger problem because then suddenly large parts of your miniatures might just not be there. However, it hasn't been too big of a problem, but there has been a couple of miniatures where it has definitely been an annoyance. I had one miniature where the sword had, and you can see these swords, they are very thin. And that was one miniature where, I'll see if I can find it afterwards, but it was loose like this one. And it had like 3 bubbles in the sword that I could see. So that sword basically broke in 3 places. Now, resin isn't the most hardy of materials. It doesn't take too much to damage it. So having bubbles in them on top of that, kind of easy to break them. So yeah, that one miniature with bubbles, 3 bubbles in the sword, that was a bit unfortunate. I don't remember which one it was, but I did have to work a bit on it. It took me like half an hour to just fix that one sword. Let's move these over here for now. And let's look at these Elven shadows. Oh no, I actually found her. Yeah. It was one of the shadows. So the Elven Shadow set came with 10 miniatures. And it was 10 miniatures for, I believe, also £10. So $12 or something like that. Not quite sure about the conversion there, but I think it's thereabouts. Now these are super cool miniatures. Female elves with like khopesh, like the Elven swords had, and hand crossbows. That's super cool. They're kind of hiding their face behind a mask, like almost like bandits. which is very cool. Awesome assassin-like miniatures. Here's how they come, and you can see more of that flash, because I haven't worked on this one at all. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Now you can see that on the tip there was a large bubble, then there was a bubble there, then there was a bubble there, and I filled that bubble in the middle there with one of the rods that just is for letting the resin flow. And when I cut it off, it turned out that the rod also had a small bubble in it, so there's still a bubble there, although much tinier than it was. So there's that. Then we have this one, which I have another already glued together version of here. Really, really cool. Bit of a dynamic pose on her. You got this one, comes like this, and you can see it's all flash central on that one. But again, the flash really isn't a big problem because it's so easy to remove. That's really not what takes the most time with these. There's another cool one, and you can see the same one there. There were other sets as well. I didn't get even half of this Kickstarter, and I wish I had gotten so much more than I did, because these are just very, very cool. And you know, aside from some technical problems like the flash and the bubbles, really not that much quality problems. Overall, the quality is really good, as I hope you can see. So those were the shadows. I believe there was also royal guards and assassins and some other sets. There was a lot of miniatures in this Kickstarter. I got so few of what was available, but I did get some, and I'm super happy about that, especially since I did get a couple of the Kickstarter exclusives. Here you can see this is the Elven Queen. She is a really, really cool sculpt, as is all of these, to be honest. But here you can see down there at the bottom over her cape there is a big bubble. Luckily, this one's very easy to just fill in and fix like that, but it's a bit annoying. But I mean, there you go. That's how it is. But the Elven Queen, super cool. Here is one of the Kickstarter exclusives, the Elven Sorceress. Which I think is even more cool than the Elven Queen. She's kind of like just standing on her cobra staff there. There's a cobra like slithering up the staff through on her leg and around her back there and up the arm. Super cool. Oh yeah, I want to show you one thing more about the Elven Queen. She's got high heels, which I find a bit funny because I then imagine that she's probably never walking on sand or dirt. I imagine that would be very hard with high heels. So, but I mean, it's a design choice, and if she spends most of her time in the palace, I assume it's not a big problem. Though I would assume it's hard to do any sort of combat in high heels, but that's me. So this is the Foreign Noble, which I was pleasantly surprised to find added to my box, because I did not pay for her. So that's very nice. She has her khopesh and she has a nice fan, and if that dress is supposed to be chainmail, that's probably very heavy. But it's a very cool sculpt, so super happy about having it. Then we have another of the Kickstarter exclusives. This is the Mummy Lord. It's got a nasty looking curved bone dagger. It seems to be pointing at someone. Kind of makes me think of the spell Finger of Death. Now, if I have one criticism about this miniature, it's the base, which it seems to have made with just sprinkling a bunch of this sand-like material on it, and the material seems like it's barely sticking on there. I don't understand why they did that, because I really don't think it looks especially good. But, you know, that's just the base, and the miniature itself is amazing, so I can live with that. He's also got all these small scarabs crawling on him. One there on the top of his cloak, there's one there on his helmet thing. There's one on the blade there, on his leg, all over the place. So yeah, very cool Mummy Lord. And here's another one. This is the Halfling Merchant, I think his name is. Halfling Merchant. So he's got a nice staff and a nice flask with something flowing out of it. Super cool. And I definitely appreciate more small folk minis. That's always fun, especially when you get unique ones like that. And speaking of which, here's another one. This is the Halfling Skeletal Lord, I think, or Halfling Undead Lord might also be his name. He is very cool. Basically a Halfling Death Knight. It is amazing. I absolutely love this one. There was one miniature that I really regret not getting, and that was a Halfling Merchant on a flying carpet. It was a super cool miniature. I'll put a picture up there. Yeah, so cool. Now here are some other small miniatures that I also got for free and did not expect. These are Halfling zombies that are popping out of the ground, or possibly they are just Halfling zombies that are missing their legs. Either way, they are very cool. I'm absolutely loving them. I don't have anything else like this. So yeah, this is amazing. So these are the miniatures that I got. There were so many more I could have gotten. I wish I had gotten, especially after seeing them with my own eyes here. There was also this large Anubis-like giant that you could get. Was just huge, and there were all sorts of creatures and other cool sculpts. I'll just show a few of them right now. All in all, this was a super nice Kickstarter. I wish I had gotten more. Sadly, by the time I realized I should get more and had the money to do it, by that time it was too late. That's on me, and I wasn't able to get in the pre-orders after that because, you know, that's just how life is. However, I will definitely pick up some more miniatures from this set as soon as it is available for purchase from their online store. And I would definitely suggest that you do it as well, because these miniatures are amazing. So, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this little video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one.